Alright, so how many of you know about Optimus Prime? Well, if you've seen the Transformers movie from Hollywood, you would know that Optimus Prime is the leader of Autobots. But in this video, I'm not going to be talking about Optimus Prime. I'll be talking about the Nexdigitron Prime, and this camera is trying to be the leader of all the Nexdigitron dash cameras which are out there. Well, yes, Nexdigitron has released a new dual channel dash camera. Now this product has been in waiting from a long time, and many of you were inquiring and asking me that when Nexdigitron is going to release a dual channel dash cam, because all they had up until now was single channel dash cameras. So the Nexdigitron Prime is trying to fill in that gap and bring you closer to getting a dual channel dash cam at a budget price. So currently this dash cam is available at a price of 7,999 rupees. And is this camera worth your money, and should you go ahead and invest in this? Well, let's find out. So here's the much awaited product, the Nexdigitron Prime 2K Plus. So this is one of the most premium offerings from Nexdigitron after they launched the A3 Pro. So this is a dual channel dash cam, and as you can see on top of the box, they have given a picture of the front camera with the 2K resolution and the picture of the rear camera. They've also provided certain features such as it supports dual recording, it has a GPS logger built inside, it is supported by the DDPAI app, and it also supports parking monitoring. So on the other side, there's nothing else written except the naming, that is the Prime 2K Plus. On the other side of the box, you have this Nexdigitron logo, and on the back of the box there are some other details provided. So let's quickly open up this and see what are the contents inside. So as soon as you open up the box, you find this user guide card. So this is one of the biggest user guide cards they have provided, I think, and it provides a lot of details about the dash camera. You can take a look at this, or you can pause the video and read these instructions. On the back of the card, they have provided the QR code in order to download the DashCam app for both iOS and Android, and the optional accessories are also been given here. So this camera supports a CPL filter, it comes with a OBD2 parking kit, and it also comes with a regular hardware kit. They've also provided certain specifications of this camera. This camera now has the Sony Starvis IMX335 sensor and a Novatec dual core processor. It supports a 2.4 GHz Realtek Wi-Fi module. It has a 1440p front resolution and a full HD 1080p rear resolution. It has a 140 degree field of view, f1.8 aperture, 6 glass lens with a IR filter, a 3-axis gyro, and an auto emergency video lock. Micro SD cards up to 128 GB with loop recording. And at the bottom you have the support number in case you have any queries to ask them. So a very useful user guide card. So let's keep this aside now and let's jump into the box. So I must say this is one of the most premium box packings which I have seen from Nexdigitron till date. So it has these 3 mini boxes inside. So let's open up the first box on the left and see what it contains. What you get in the box is the rear camera along with its power cable. Now the power cable does seem pre-attached. Yes, it comes pre-attached, so if you want you can actually remove this adapter, I think. So here you go, you can remove this if you want, but it comes pre-attached. So it has this 3.5 mm jack at one end, so this goes into the main camera unit, and you have this rear camera at the other end, and this camera rotates 360 degrees, which means you can record even inside the cabin as well. You have this 3M sticker in order to adapt onto the windshield, and there's nothing else much except a LED indicator at one side of the rear camera. Let's open up the second box and see what it contains. Well, it sure does contain a lot of things. Well, taking a look at the first thing, this is the main power cable along with the GPS logger attached to it. So this has a USB type A port at one end and a type C port at the other end. Along with it, you also have this wiring crowbar. You have the 12-volt car adapter with a gloss black finish. It has this Nexdigitron logo, and it also has 2 USB ports, one for the dash cam and one for your personal use. Along with that, there's something else inside the box. Let's take a look. So here I think is the mounting adapter for the main dash camera. Now it has this lock and unlock logos here, so you need to slide this in onto the dash cam to lock and slide it out to unlock. It has this 3M sticker covering on the one side. So let's keep this here, and now finally let's take a look at the main dash camera in the last box of the package. So this comes in a special bubble wrap, unlike the other two boxes which came in a plastic wrapping. Okay, so this looks very premium, and Nexdigitron has really done a good job, I think, in terms of designing of this product and in terms of making it look and feel premium in the hand. So at front you find this distinctive Nexdigitron logo, you have this lens here and this 2K numbering here with a WDR, that is wide dynamic range, with the aperture size f1.8. So you have this mount actually pre-attached. So what we saw in the box is actually a spare mount. So you get a mount pre-attached to the dash cam. So as you can see, it slides open, and if you want you can just place it back and slide it in to fit into the dash camera. So on one side you have this specific power on and off button, and you have this micro SD card slot, and on the other side you have this rear camera port and the Type-C USB power port. Now I definitely like that the micro SD card slot has been placed next to the power button, because in this case there is no USB Type-C power cable right next to the memory card slot. Like most of the other dash cams out there, it actually intrudes or disturbs while removing or inserting the memory card. Now in this case there is no disturbance. You can remove or insert the micro SD card without any of disturbance coming from any side. So you have this power cable at one end and the rear camera cable. So on the bottom you have this textured appearance, these holes, I think these are ventilation holes in order to cool the camera. On the back this is the mic, and this is probably the LED light. So a very good design. It has this grey silvery look with this gloss finishing, and I think this camera has been very well designed by Nexdigitron. Alright, so these are the things which you get inside the box: the rear camera along with its rear camera connecting cable, the main power cable along with the GPS logger pre-attached. You have this user guide card, you have this Nexdigitron Prime front camera. Along with it you have this extra 3M sticker. Now this is a heat resistant sticker on both, and you get a spare additional one. You also have this wiring crowbar, and finally you have the 12 volt adapter with 2 USB ports. So as shown in the user guide card, you get a CPL filter for this dash cam, and you also get a OBD2 hardware kit. So along with the OBD2 kit you also get a regular hardware kit. Taking a look at the CPL filter box, now let's just open up the box here. So this is the new Nexdigitron logo, I'm guessing, and they've imprinted this on the CPL filter, and you get this 3M sticker at the back of the CPL filter. So as you can see, this CPL filter goes in like this. So before placing this on the lens, you need to remove this 3M sticker and stick the CPL filter on top of the lens. So this is how it goes, and this will really help you in reducing that glare and reflection from the dashboard. So taking a look at the video sample from the Nexdigitron Prime dashcam. Now here's a car at a distance of about 15 feet away, and if I zoom in, the license plate does look good. It has a sort of a blurriness in between it, that's maybe because of the magnification factor, and a very moderate amount of noise, but you can still make out each letter and number, and at this distance for a 2K camera this is a very decent thing. Moving on further down in the footage and getting close to the car a bit more, and then if I zoom in, now I can clearly see this is a very good read of the license plate, very slight blurriness, and of course you can even make out the IND letters at the left corner of the plate. So at a close range this 2K camera really excels at what it does, and at a distance of more than 10 to 15 the quality starts to come down a bit. Taking a look at the video sample from the rear camera, now at a very close range, now if I zoom in, you do see a bit of blurriness and a moderate amount of noise again, but still all letters and numbers are clearly visible. And since this is a 1080p camera, license plate reads from this camera will be only good at a very close range of about 5 to 10 feet. More than 10 feet the license plate read will definitely get blurrier. Coming to the night sample from the front camera of the Nexdigitron Prime, now here's an interesting aspect. The license plate of the vehicle right in front of me is directly in the glare of my headlight, and I don't even have to zoom in to show you that the license plate is completely whitewashed. So if you have seen my previous videos on the StarVis 2 sensor, this is actually where the StarVis 2 excels, because it is able to capture the license plate even in the glare of the headlights. But since this doesn't have a StarVis 2 sensor, the license plates falling under the headlight glare will be definitely whitewashed. But let's move on a bit down into the video and see what happens now when the vehicle just comes out of the border of the glare. And if I zoom in, now you get a very clear picture of the license plate, all letters and numbers properly and distinctively visible, very minimum amount of noise, and good brightness and contrast levels. So this is because it is right at the border or the edge of my headlight and not directly in the middle of it. Coming to the video sample from the rear camera at night, now there's an auto rickshaw right behind me, and if I zoom in, now you do see a very clear license plate read in spite of having a glare from the headlights of the auto rickshaw and even the vehicle from behind it. This is because the license plate is placed a bit higher, and of course, as I said previously, a full HD camera will work the best at a very close range, and at a distance of more than about 10 to 15 feet, the license plate readability will definitely come down. Coming to the side-by-side comparison of both front and the rear camera, you do see a better contrast levels in the front camera, but both cameras exhibit a very warm tone in their video quality. The exposure and brightness levels I think are more well balanced in the front camera compared to the rear, but overall both footages look pretty decent to me, and at the price you are going to get a very good deal for this. Coming to the comparison of both front and rear camera during night, now you can clearly make out that the contrast levels and the saturation levels are better in the front camera. The rear camera tends to have a slightly higher exposure and a slight bit over saturated image, but that's not a major concern, and since this is a 1080p camera at a budget range, this is doing its job as expected, and you really can't be expecting a 4K quality, a HDR quality from this dash camera. So overall both the cameras are providing a very decent footage for the price you're paying for it. So what do you think? Do you think this camera, the Nexdigitron Prime camera, stands up to your expectations? Well, I think it's good enough for the price, and being the first dual channel dashcam from Nexdigitron, I think they've taken a good step forward towards bringing a dual channel camera system to a wider base of audience, to a wider base of customers, and making it available at a budget price. Well, what works for this camera is that it sort of has a premium design. Well, design is a subjective matter, some may like it, some may not, but I think it's a very coolly designed dashcam. Of course, along with the fact that this coming with the GPS is a bonus, and it's always better to have a dual channel camera system compared to a single channel one, because you never know from where the next accident or incident might happen on the road. Having a wider field of view, having a wider coverage will definitely work in your favor in the long term. So this was my take on the Nexdigitron Prime dashcam. If you have any doubts or queries regarding this, write them down in the comments and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And of course, if you're interested in purchasing this dashcam, the links to purchase it is provided right down in the description. I hope this video has helped you out, and in case if it did, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right away and smash that like button before moving on to the next video. Also, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified each time I upload a new video. Many more interesting and amazing videos coming up in the future. Of course, I think I'll be doing a comparison video of the Prime with the DDPAI N1 Dual. So stay tuned to check that out. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.